Now here's a fast food place I've actually never tried. Lion's Choice famous roast beef sandwiches. Yeah, let's give this a try. Hey you all. Still here in the St. Louis area. Actually stayed in a hotel just right across the line in Illinois. And we got ourselves some Lion's Choice. I am always excited to try fast food that I've never tried before. This is a roast beef sandwich restaurant. You know, of course we have Arby's, Roy Rogers, some other roast beef sandwich restaurants. Never had Lion's Choice. It's actually here in the parking lot of the hotel I was staying in. So I really don't know anything about this. Never even really heard of them before, but there we go. We got a longer bun. You know, Arby's has the circular bun. It looks pretty, got some pretty pink roast beef there. That's always a good sign. And got the toasted bread, and there's like seasoning on there. It's like some salty seasoning all sprinkled there on the top. That's kind of interesting. Got the sweet and smoky barbecue sauce. I always like at Arby's, I'll get the Arby's sauce and the horseradish. What do they call it? Arby's horsey sauce. The barbecue sauce there. And some horseradish there as well. All right, let's give this Lion's Choice a try. That's pretty good. You can taste that saltiness. That's interesting. It's almost like they sprinkle like salty seasoning on top. But that's kind of gives it a little salty ting, kind of like a beef on weck, a buffalo dish where they put really a lot of salt on the bun. So yeah, the salt kind of interesting, but good. And that beef is so rare. I love that. You know, Arby's is always that brown color. Actually, if you look really close, if you look like really close, the Arby's meat is green. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a true thing. So, yeah, this is good. I would definitely eat this again. I also got some broccoli and cheddar soup. Yeah, I wish more drive-thrus had soup. Always craving soup on the road. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is overflowing. They put a lot of soup in there. Let me see here. This is also steaming hot. It's burning my hand. That is definitely some decent broccoli and cheddar soup. May need to let it cool a little more. But yeah, get a nice cup of soup while you're on the road is a real treat. All right, so here's the deal. We are headed to California. I'll be driving out to California in the next little bit. Let me see, what day is it today? As I film this, it is, let's double check. It is Saturday, the 4th. I'm supposed to be in California. I have a scheduled event in California on the 9th. So 5 days. 5 days to get to California. Oh, it's okay. I've done it in less time. Got a head start. We're in St. Louis. And yeah, I think we can do it. I mean, given the car doesn't break down, given there's not some snafu, we should be able to make it. But how my luck's been going, I'm just not so sure. So follow me. But before we head west, let's stop off here at the gateway to the west. The Gateway Arch. So standing here in the shadow of the Gateway Arch, St. Louis itself, of course, called the Gateway to the west. So I guess officially, when you are heading west, once you have passed St. Louis, you're officially in the western United States. And then the Gateway Arch here. This is so impressive. Like, I think this is one of the hardest things to just show how impressive it is in real life. It's one of those things, you know, you see in TV and movies, and then once you see it in real life, it is almost just mind-boggling, just the size of this thing. And it creates, it absolutely love the look of it. It creates probably, to me, one of the most beautiful skylines in the United States, the St. Louis skyline. But I guess we would head up inside of the arch. Another thing a lot of people don't realize is that it's a ride. You can actually take a ride in a weird sideways elevator all the way to the top of the arch. Seems like we've been doing on this trip, a lot of height-based tourism. We went in the Sun Sphere, up to the top of the Sun Sphere. We went up to the top of the Sears/Willis Tower. So I figure let's head to the top of the St. Louis Gateway Arch. Parked my car down here next to the Mississippi River. It is, there's a parking area here. It's not free. It's about, I think it costs $10 to park here. They also do river boat cruises, which are nice. I've been on the river boat cruises before. You can see that big barge there moving products along the Mississippi River. Gonna walk across the street here. There's this giant staircase that will take you up level to the arch. And I think you actually enter underneath. Ooh, look at these stairs.
Did you see me on the school?
See the height there. The lookout area right there at the top. You can see the teeny tiny windows peering out. See, the arcs up over city that comes down over here. Let me just show you how big this thing is. Look at all these stupid idiots that scratch their name into the arch. I mean, come on. You see the tunnel here heads down under the arch, but it says both arch legs are exit only this way to the arch entrance. So gotta find the arch entrance somewhere over here. All right, there we go. This way to the arch entry. Here we have it over on this side, the entrance to the arch. You can see the entry point there, kind of built into the hillside. I've not seen this before. They have, I guess, a rotating COVID level. It said when it's red, mask is required. When it's yellow, mask is encouraged. And then green is just, you may choose to wear a mask as an additional precaution. So right now it's yellow, so it's encouraged but not required. All right, rotating door. Let's head inside here. I think there's a security checkpoint up here. Now this is really cool here. This is actually one of the trams that takes you up to the top of the arch. I love the design of these trams. You can see it kind of looks futuristic in a way, and it is very tight. You just got the 5 little seats in there. Although you can fit in. I know it's a little cramped, but Shaquille O'Neal has actually ridden to the top of the arch. So I'd say it's pretty safe for all body types. Just, you know, if you're claustrophobic though, that's a different story. They kind of hang at the top because they move at a diagonal angle, but you can kind of see the outside of the tram there. Very cool. I've not had a chance to look at the tram outside of the ones connected to the arch. All right, you see in here, a very small pod. You're really cozy here with the people next to you. You can see down here a map of the United States. Shows there St. Louis where we are at, and then we're gonna move west from there and end up there at some point in the next week. Now I got my ticket to ride to the top of the arch. Unfortunately, it's going to be about an hour before we can ride to the top. So we'll check out the museum in the meantime. Walk here, have these screens showing Native Americans hunting in the woods. You can see a Native American campsite right there. Now, they did remodel this museum years ago, and sadly they removed some of the best parts as they took out the animatronics. There used to be animatronic scenes that would play out, but sadly they have removed those years ago. The museum here starts with talking about the history of St. Louis. We have some Native American artifacts there, some tools there, some stone-carved tools. The St. Louis began as a busy trading post. I guess trading mostly animal furs, as you can see by the big piece of fur up there. Here's a hide scraper used for preparing the hides of animals. You can see a tanned deer hide right here, as well as a deer skin here for you to rub. And there's actually just deer hair everywhere around here. This is children rubbing the deer as the deer is shedding. Here we have the Mississippi River. It says rivers were the first super highways. And we can see little models of boats. There's a dugout canoe there. And that's a flatboat. Alright, here we go, just paddling down the mighty Mississippi there. Here's some items used by early residents of St. Louis. You have a chair for sitting, a key for unlocking, and then some wooden shoes for your feet. See, you actually feel the wooden shoes here. These are kind of like the original Crocs. Here's an old Creole house model. This is some of the early French era homes in St. Louis. They have a cabin built here in the middle of the room. But then over here we have a little tiny version of the cabin that we can put our hands on. I guess that's kind of a thing they do in some museums. You know, you create a touchable version, a miniature touchable version of the object. Helps people that are seeing impaired. Here we have a section on Manifest Destiny, when Americans decided they wanted more. They wanted the rest of this continent to belong to them. You can see wagon there. The wagons will be used to travel out west. You can see the big old buffalo right there, and then a little mini buffalo, so we can pet him. And also, if we want to play with his bones, you got a buffalo skull. Here's a rifle that would have been used to shoot the buffalo, and apparently at one point they almost shot all the buffalo. Luckily, I know buffalo have kind of made a comeback, but yeah, and they loved shooting buffalo back in the day. Well, you can feel the buffalo fur there. Again, kids love rubbing fur in museums. They rub it all the way down to the nub. There's a little bit of buffalo leather. We have a little model train here on a track. See this button here? Okay, it actually moves. Actually moves the railroad along. And has little fun facts about trains. In 1869, the first transcontinental railroad was completed. Railroads became more important than steamboats in 1880. Oh, dunking on steamboats. Here we have a steamboat here. We can make the water move underneath it. It says 1850, more than 170 steamboats crowded the St. Louis levee. Oh, watch out for that barrel there. Water levels and ice hindered steamboat travel. It says they used buffalo hides to power factories. These buffalo leather belts being pulled, using to turn these objects here. Looks like we got some different medications and beverages. Over here, what's that? It was a straight razor. Oh, and a shiny beaver skin hat. Here's the Pacific Railway here. You can actually get your selfie made with this old-timey camera. I don't think the camera works anymore, but you can maybe put your camera on top there. Look at me. I'm on a train. Toot toot. Statue of Thomas Jefferson there. Apparently it was his scheme to move westward and populate the western United States. Have a Native American teepee in there, as well as there's the miniature version of the teepee. And guess what it's made out of? Buffalo. Definitely get your fill of feeling buffalo skin here at the St. Louis Arch. There's a beaver trap right there. Now, wouldn't it be funny if I touched that and it like snapped shut on my hand? That would be fun. I don't know, not saying they should hurt people, but wouldn't it be funny if it was just like as a gag, you like touch that and it started closing on your hand. You're like, ah. See the fur there. There's one of those beautiful beaver fur hats. And here's one that you can feel. Only the top here is actually beaver felt. I didn't know I'd be feeling so much animal skin. Here we have a giant steamboat wheel right there. Here we have the smells of cholera. It says walking amongst animals, waste, rotting garbage, raw sewage, and other unpleasantries. Oh my gosh. All right, let's give these a sniff. All right, the smells of cholera here. Oh, okay. It doesn't smell like dead animals and rotten sewage. This is actually what they use to cover up cholera. So this is like spices and herbs. It actually smells very nice. It does not smell like rotten raw sewage like I thought it would. Here is a model of St. Louis in the 1840s and 1850s. You can see all the different steamboats lining up, unloading goods to be delivered to the city. Here we have original pottery shards found on the St. Louis levee. Just different chunks of broken pottery there. I guess that didn't make it in one piece. Looks like they're mixed in here with spaghetti. Now we start talking about the actual arch. Apparently city leaders in St. Louis did not like that the first thing that people saw entering the city was a rundown riverfront, so they wanted to create something welcoming to people who visited the city. Here we have different models that were put together in a competition of a monument to build on the waterfront. See, this is much less impressive. It's just like a little knob here. You have like a little tower there. That's getting a little warmer. Yeah, some of these are, still interesting. There's little towers there, but yeah, here we have the winner. And looking at these others, I think it was probably a slam dunk. That's definitely much more visually impressive than anything else proposed. Now, the architect that designed the arch is Eero Saarinen, and here is a prototype he created of the arch. And he designed other buildings as well. There's some of the buildings that he designed there, but also he was famous for designing the tulip chair, a very cool mid-century style chair he designed in addition to the arch. See this model of St. Louis with the arch in front. And as I've said, yeah, just probably the greatest city skyline in America. There's a model of the inside of the arch. You can see the tram cars there. Again, I love the design there. You can see, the architecture. Developed the tulip chair. You can kind of see that same kind of style inside the pods. You can see a person there crammed inside the little pod. All right, so I guess we can turn this wheel here and you can see how the trams move. So there we go. You can see them going there to the top. Here's some tickets to the opening of the arch in 1968. So yeah, the planning began in the 1930s, and it took all the way to the late 60s for the arch to actually open. You can see a monument here to the builders of the arch. You can actually see there's cranes on the top of the arch there. That would be terrifying. And then these busts carved of the people involved with the creation. You can see Eero Saarinen there, putting together a model of the arch on his desk. And along the bottom there, they put in some structures that are smaller than the arch. The Statue of Liberty, the White House there. Don't compare to the size of the arch. You can see Old Faithful, which, you know, was created by God, not man. And then Mount Rushmore, again, not as big as the arch. And the Washington Monument, almost as big as the arch, but not quite. Now this right here is a replica of the middle piece of the arch, the final piece installed. You can see it's got a light on top to alert airplanes of how high it is. Of course, I think it was $15 for a ticket to the top of the arch, but the museum is free. So if you cannot afford to go up in the arch, you can come out here and see the middle of the lookout tower. And there's I think is this actually like a live view? It's moving. I don't know if this is a live feed of what is going on in the city of St. Louis. See the courthouse there with the cars driving in front. And while we're still waiting, let's check out what sort of wonderful things they have inside the arch store. They have some legally distinct plastic building blocks here where you can create your own arch. Arch! Looks like the Gateway Arch has its own official root beer. Fitz's Gateway Arch root beer. Look at all these different Gateway Arch Christmas ornaments. You know, it might be fun one day to make a Christmas tree that's only roadside attraction ornaments. Now this is a pretty cool souvenir. You can take home an actual piece of the Gateway Arch. This is an actual used tram cable made in the shape of the arch. Pretty awesome. You have a little park ranger there. It's actually a little bear who's a park ranger. Can you imagine if we let the bears in charge of the national parks? Imagine the mayhem that they would create. The most awesome arch. Looks like there's a children's book featuring the arch and this little squirrel character here. And hey kids, who wants to be Eero Saarinen? You actually sell glasses so you can look like Eero Saarinen, the designer of the arch. Alright, my time to wear the arch is in about 5 minutes. We'll start lining up over here. Alright, and we are headed to the top. Alright, got our boarding pass. We're going to be in car number 8. Here we have the boarding area. We are going to be in tram number 8 all the way at the end. Yeah, you can see the little capsule pod entrances there. Oh, they're opening up. You can see they're jam-packed full of people there. Well, look at all those people coming out. It's like the size of a clown car. Alright, headed in. Alright, you can see kind of tight in here. I have to like lean sideways in order to fit inside the pod. There we go. You can see the stairway there that can actually take you to the top of the arch, I guess, if things go wrong in the pod. Heading up straight upward at this point. You can see the stairs winding along next to us. See the windy stairs there as we head to the more curved part of the arch. Gonna climb the last little bit on the stairs up here. I did feel my ears pop as we were heading up to the top. All right, and here we go. Hello, we're in the very tip top, the observation center up here. They said we got about 10 minutes to look around. You can see the little tiny windows you can lean and look out of. All right, let's take a peek here. See what we can see. There's the old courthouse right there. You can see the baseball stadium there. I think it's the Cardinals. The Cardinals that play there. That seems right. Over there, that's the America Center. That's where we were at yesterday for Trans World. Yeah, look at the teeny tiny people driving their teeny tiny cars. That there, that circle is where we entered the arch, kind of built into the slope there. And on the other side here, we can peek down and look at where I parked my car. Which one is it? It's one of the white ones there. You can see the where the river boats leave from. Yeah, you can see the mighty Mississippi rolling through there. Old Man River. It's been interesting getting a different perspective from the top of these height-based attractions here on top of the St. Louis Arch. We were just a few days ago, we were on top of the Willis/Sears Tower, completely different type of view, and then the Sun Sphere in Knoxville, lower but interesting view. You can see into the windows of the building around you. This one's much more higher. I know the Willis/Sears Tower probably the highest, or definitely the highest of all of them. But yeah, each one has its own unique view. Look at this. Look at this trap door here. If you don't pull that up, you don't want to fall. That's the highest point of the arch. Yeah, I don't know if it's in my head, but I almost feel the arch swaying up here. Yeah, you can feel the ever so slightly, or maybe even not so slightly, as it waves back and forth in the wind. Yeah, and actually on the other side of the Mississippi River, that's Illinois, so you can see Illinois from the top of the Gateway Arch. Well, that's not quite as impressive because, you know, you can actually see Illinois from the bottom of the arch too. Yeah, it's interesting to do the lookouts here. You almost have to like lay flat on your belly on the lookout here. Look at all that traffic.
I think so.
All right, they said time's up. We need to head back to our tram car. They used to take you back down on the other side of the arch, but now you have to come back down the same way you came up. Oh, there's a pod full of people there. Back in our futuristic pod here. Boy. So you can see everyone cramming into these cars. You can see, just looking there, what a tight fit it is. You can exit here, out by the legs of the arch. As we come out of the tunnel there, you can see the mighty arch right over top us. So I did decide I wanted to try some of this Fitz's Gateway Arch root beer here. I'm not sure if that's a twist off or not. We're gonna find out. That's not a twist off. Oh man. I think I'm gonna have to go dig in the back for a bottle opener. There we go. All right. I had my bottle opener on my old car keys, and since I'm driving the rental, I'm not using this. So I can crack into this. There we go. Now this has, okay, I've had this argument with viewers for years. This has the treads on it, but I swear that wouldn't open. Okay, I'm sorry. So Fitz's Gateway Arch root beer. That is delightful, actually. Smooth, Got a good root beer flavor to it. Gets an official thumbs up from me. That is good root beer. So I must say, Gateway Arch makes me very, very nostalgic. It got me thinking back to the year 2014. Back then, I was still doing my photo blog with a B. I had started making videos already. Was kind of just still kind of getting my footing with when it comes to making videos. But back in 2014, I planned a big trip. I hadn't been very far from home. Most of my videos had just been in the South, traveling around to different locations in the South. You know, I was living in North Carolina at the time. And I ended up planning this grand trip. I wanted to get as far as I could go and spend as little money as possible doing it. So I wanted to see as many things as I could each day. And I wanted to stay in as few hotels as possible. So I decided I was gonna sleep in my car as much as I could. I was driving a Toyota Corolla, so that did not go well. I was ended up sleeping in the fetal position of my car. I attempted to. I don't know if I ever successfully slept in the back seat of the Toyota Corolla. So I must have left in the middle of the night. Because I covered so much stuff this day. I must have left in the middle of the night because I showed up outside of Paducah, Kentucky at the Apple Valley Hillbilly Gardens and Toyland early in the morning. There's still frost on the ground. And I got the tour of the Hillbilly Gardens by Keith Holt. And from there, I went on and visited the Superman Museum in Metropolis, Illinois. And yeah, I was mostly taking photos at the time, doing my photo blog. And so I traveled over here, made it to St. Louis. I went to the St. Louis Wax Museum, Laclede's Landing Wax Museum. I came over here to the Gateway Arch. I ended up filming the Arch. I filmed my whole experience at the Arch. Then I went over to the City Museum after that. So if you're keeping count, this is one day of my life. And for the first time I visited Hillbilly Gardens, the Superman Museum in Metropolis, the Gateway Arch, the City Museum, and the St. Louis Wax Museum. That's 5 stops. And the funny thing is, all that I filmed was the Arch and the Wax Museum, because I had in my head I was doing both videos and blogs. So I was gonna blog most of the stuff and then do videos on stuff where I felt video better suited it. So I think I wanted to kind of do the POV of the Arch right through. So I figured this will make a good video. The rest of this I'll just take photos. So I only ended up all those things I did. I only videotaped 2 of them. And then I wasn't even meaning to do the I was planning on doing photos at the St. Louis Wax Museum, the Laclede's Landing Wax Museum. It was so crazy. I think this would be a good video. I think this is so creepy. I think I want to video this. So, and I think that trip ended kind of with me realizing that videos were the direction of the channel. I don't think I even published all the photos that I took. I remember I don't think I put out anything regarding the City Museum, because my focus after that trip shifted to videos, even though I didn't necessarily film a lot of videos on that trip. That was kind of the trip. Yeah, I drove far out. I drove out all the way to Amarillo, Texas, I think was my furthest point. Just wanted to see as much stuff that I hadn't seen as possible. But as far as today goes, we just came down from the Arch. I'm just gonna drive as far as I can. We gotta get out to California, gotta get out west, and I'm gonna see how far we can make it. So I'm gonna point this car west and just drive and drive and drive until I can't drive no more. documenting different welcome centers on this road trip. And this is the Missouri Welcome Center, although it is a little confusing because we are not really near the border. It's kind of just in the middle of the state randomly. Although I really do appreciate this orange barrel man here at the Missouri Welcome Center. Hey buddy, keeping safe? Okay, apparently this isn't just the Missouri Welcome Center, it is the Missouri Route 66 Welcome Center. Very cool, old school neon sign here welcoming us. Head inside here. Oh yeah, I think I've been here before when I was doing Route 66. You can see the map of Route 66 on the floor here. And you can see in here their information desk is really cool. It's all decked out like the 1950s. But unfortunately it closes at 4:30. And here's the Route 66 diner if you'd like to have a sandwich out of a vending machine for dinner. No judging, but just a quick question here. Would you eat biscuits and gravy out of a vending machine? Back out here behind the rest area, they even have a little miniature Route 66. You can see these picnic shelters here, dressed up like garages. Now driving here I actually saw a lot of advertisements for Merrimack Caverns. Do you guys want me to check out Merrimack Caverns at one point? We can't do it on this trip. Maybe next time we're in the area. I'm not the biggest on caves, but I'm always looking for caves that have a little, you know, something extra, something that sets them apart from your standard cave tour. Leave a comment if you'd like me to check out Merrimack Caverns. Now, unfortunately, the Oklahoma Welcome Center closes at 5 o'clock, but they do have this big, beautiful welcome sign. Just stopped for gas and found this. The I Love Oklahoma pig. Me and Jen were traveling back across the country. When we visited San Francisco, we traveled through Montana, and she wanted to get a Montana souvenir. So she found this pig that said, I love Montana, just because it was so absurd. And then recently I started looking at different gas stations, and I realized they have these I Love state pigs in a lot of different states. So I just found her a I Love Oklahoma pig to add to her collection. Maybe we can get all 50. And we've stopped for the evening at the Microtel in Claremore, Oklahoma. I think it's like a normal hotel, but tinier. All right, let's check our room here. So we get that. There we go. Oh, it's dark. Yeah, we got a tiny little hotel room in here. It's pretty cool. It's all I really need. I got my desk, got my bed, got a giant mirror behind the bed for some reason. Hey, that's not like that's not like one-way glass, is it? It feels like there's like someone behind there watching me sleep. Oh, look at this. If you got a little friend with you, they can sleep in the windowsill. You know, I might just take the window bed tonight. I've never slept, I think I've ever slept in a windowsill before. But anyway, thank you guys for coming along with me today. Sorry, I'm tired. It is it's about 11 o'clock at night. I still have to edit the video. Hopefully the internet here is good. That's the one thing I worry about when traveling is a lot of times you just get unreliable internet at hotels. Sometimes you just never tell, You know, sometimes hotels that may seem a little run down will still have really good internet. Other times, a nice hotel will have really shoddy internet. It's just almost like rolling that dice. But anyways, I'm gonna get to work, and then tomorrow we're gonna keep on keeping on. We're gonna start rolling towards California. This is a habit that I have of not giving myself adequate time to get out to California. Like I said, I have an appointment on the 9th, and gotta get there on time. So we're blasting. I'm just gonna point the car west, and we're gonna see if we can get to California in a hasty amount of time. But thank you guys so much. If you like these videos, please subscribe. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider Patreon. Consider buying a pin from the Etsy shop. All that helps keep this train on the track, this steamship in the water, and this arch high in the air. Until tomorrow morning, my friends, this one's in the bag. But seriously though, this is the one-way mirror. Is there someone behind here? Maybe I'm too tired, but I'm paranoid.